You're listening to Headline Hunter with Nick Raseta.
Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to Headline Hunter, the show where I read the news so you don't have to. How's everyone doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
You know what? I'm not too bad. Sorry for being late. I don't know what I'm looking at this one, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Apologies for the delay. It was a big snafu in the studio just trying to set up. You see, we're all in the same room, which is a big no-no here at Spirit Live. But two things happened. One,
Craziness.
mics weren't working in the interview room, which is right there. And two, the dumbass I am, I locked the key in there. So we're trying to sort that one out. Once we do, this is gonna be a fun week.
This is great. And we're off to a good start on Friday.
Yeah, I know. I feel much closer to you, Vince.
We are. We don't usually get this personal, guys. And now I can actually look him right in the eyes as he's telling me these obscure stories.
Exactly.
And we can really get more personal.
Of course.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
But yeah, let's talk. Let's get into what we're going to talk about today.
Show.
Today we talk about the new Liberal NDP agreement that was announced on Tuesday. We talk about wage increases and inflation, as well as some more obscure headlines the week had to offer. Now, disclaimer: the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are those of the host and guest, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Spirit Live or Ryerson/X University. All right, let's get into it. Our first headline: how the Liberal NDP agreement will work and what it might mean for Canadians. The supply and confidence agreement struck between the governing Liberals and the opposition New Democrats could affect the kind of legislation Canadians can expect to see pass through Parliament between now and 2025. The parties have agreed to work together on key policy areas in situations where both parties want the same, medium-term outcome, while avoiding an early election call. According to the deal, those key policy areas are climate change, healthcare, spending, reconciliation with Indigenous peoples, economic growth, and efforts to make life more affordable. To do this, the parties will need to establish a working relationship that governs how they communicate plans and voting intentions. The Prime Minister's office published a statement on its website outlining the deal. Here's a look at some key questions. Now, before we get into those questions, you know, I know most of you guys don't really follow politics. You're not really well versed in that area. But right now the Liberals having minority government. Do you think, just as a young person, a lot of these issues, you know, affordability, living, healthcare, climate change, all going to affect us? Do you think this is more of a power grab by the Liberal Party, or do you actually think this is something that's going to benefit, you know, the country?
Well, of course it's a power grab, but whether it benefits us, yeah, maybe. I mean, I think all politics is, in some essence, trying to put their own party first. But this might be a good outcome for all of us if it works out the way it's supposed to.
Well, we've seen this done before. Maybe not us personally, but it's been done in the past and will continue to be a trending topic and a trending thing that parties do. Especially the Conservatives are looking for a new leader.
Yeah.
This will be their 6th or 7th leader in the past 8 years. That party's been through some changes, yeah, for sure. But I think this shows a sign of weakness by the Liberal Party, only because, you know, Trudeau called a snap election this past year, and you know it didn't really turn out the way he expected, costing the country a cool $600 million.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. That's nothing, especially in a pandemic.
Pretty penny.
But it shows weakness. In my opinion, they're in power till 2025. The only reason they're doing this is because they have a minority government. There's nothing they can actually get done from a financial/budgetary position without the help of a smaller party like the NDP. They obviously will not work with the Conservatives in this sense, and they won't go to the Bloc or the Green. The Green Party at this point, I think they have 1 or 2 seats.
Yeah.
You know, they're more of a liberal thinking party, anyways. But the Bloc is the one that has more seats than the NDP, I believe. So it's very interesting to see how this will turn out. But let's get into the nitty-gritty. The deal only requires the NDP to vote in support of the government on confidence votes in budgetary matters, such as budget implementation, legislation, and money bills. The voting commitment stands until Parliament rises in June 2025, allowing the Liberals to present 4 federal budgets. The Prime Minister's office statement says that in order to make the deal work, the NDP has agreed not to move a vote of non-confidence in government or to vote in favor of one, should it be introduced by another party. That's pretty much what happened. It's pretty much like calling an election. That's what this is avoiding, and that's why this deal is happening. The deal also says that if a vote in the House has been crafted to impede the government from functioning, it will declare it a confidence vote while giving the NDP advance notice. Similarly, the NDP promises to inform the Liberal government before declaring publicly to permit discussions around confidence to take place. To ensure that parliamentary committees continue to function, the deal states that both parties agree to keep in touch on issues that would cause unnecessary obstructions to the legislation review, studies, and work plans at committees. The NDP and the Liberals have identified 7 key areas where they say they will work together. They are health, affordability, climate change, labor, reconciliation, tax initiatives, and democracy. But yeah, this is a power grab, and it shows. I think it shows weakness. I don't think either party could care less about any of these issues at the moment. I really don't. I think it's the Liberals are covering their behinds, so to speak. They're making sure that they are in power for another, 4 years, 3 years, and that's what that snap election was in, last year. Like it just makes no sense to me why that happened, and now it's biting the Liberal Party in the rear end. But most importantly, with this story and headline in specific, it's quite interesting that this is taking place now, because that shows me that there's something big coming to the House of Commons and Parliament. It's going to be something very big that needs a lot of MPs to vote on. So keep your eyes and ears out for that. We will for sure, and we'll let you know what that is. But this shows me that the Liberals are working on something that's going to be really expensive, pretty much.
Free gas for everyone for a year.
Yeah, I wish, man.
Yeah.
Holy. But yeah, just again, I know you guys don't really follow politics like I do, and
Yeah.
but just as someone who's on the outside looking in, do you see this more as a power grab?
I think because the Liberals are in a minority government right now, that I think they're seeing that they do have a lesser say in what can actually go forward and such. So I think it is partly a kind of a power stunt, but at the same time, it's a lot of change really quickly. We're just starting to come out of a pandemic. Mandates are changing. Everything's kind of changing right now. So I'm not nervous, but I'm interested to see what this will actually do for certain policies and things kind of going forward. So we'll have to see. I mean, especially as a younger generation, I think we're all really concerned with, inflation, where things are kind of going right now, especially because we're going to be the ones having to clean the mess up. But yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
It's it's definitely something that I see as they're scared of the Conservative Party, because there's 3 key guys that are they're great public speakers, speak with conviction. That's Pierre Poilievre, I think Jean Charest, and then Patrick Brown is the other. 3 guys who have been long-serving, they're pretty much career politicians for the most part, very well, highly educated, but also have much different agenda than both the NDP and the Liberal Party. I saw the other day, Pierre Poilievre even said, congratulations to Justin Trudeau on being the first NDP Prime Minister. Because that's pretty much what it is at this point. Because the NDP has a very socialist view on their policies, and the Liberals are not as socialist, but they do still have a much different mindset than the NDP. And you've seen this in the last few elections and the past 3 terms for Justin Trudeau. It's something that is a trend. He's always gone to the NDP. Obviously, Jagmeet Singh doesn't agree with Trudeau on a lot of things, but
trying to get his foot in the door.
He's trying to get his foot in the door, but
Yeah.
it's pretty much Justin Trudeau is just, the puppet master. Because whenever he needs something from the NDP, they do it instantly. There's no fight on it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see their dynamic, and that's why I was kind of surprised when I saw that they kind of joined forces. Somebody that doesn't really pay too much attention to Canadian politics. I was definitely like, whoa, this is different for sure.
Yeah, and well, the thing about this headline in specific, like I said, the timing, there's something big coming. It's either going to be a policy or it's going to be something that's going to be implemented in the next federal budget.
Something that probably has to do with recovering from COVID.
Yeah,
For sure. But I feel, that's been a trend for how long now? So, no, there's something big coming, and we'll be sure to report it here, because that's kind of our job here.
Kind of.
We hunt the headlines.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, we're going to move on from